he was like, like revolting on us. Like he was like, I'm not gonna join them. They went StreamYard.
No.
So I'm happy to see you on here. Seeing you didn't have to download any specific nothing. You just were able to jump on and then boom.
Pretty
So
simple.
good, good, good. So welcome to the show, y'all. It's 8:05. I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of do our little introduction here. Give people a few minutes to get in and get situated. Excuse me. Today's Tuesday, November 2nd, right? Yeah, oh my God, I can't believe it's already November. Um, Welcome to Free Thinkers. We do this every Tuesday night. Just a quick little rundown of what Free Thinkers is. Q, do you want to answer that question this week? What is Free Thinkers?
No.
No. All
See,
right,
my
so
ability to say no is that's free thinking right there. No,
I mean, and you can say no, right? That's why we do this. No is a plentiful answer. So free thinkers is just a group of self-proclaimed free thinking, open-minded, knowledgeable, hungry individuals who enjoy having conversation about a variety of different topics, are generally not afraid to talk about any topic, and give honest feedback. We've been doing this for about 4 years now. We went online after Corona started, so we're just trying to take this to the next level, essentially. So Free Thinkers, we do this live show every Tuesday night. We have different topics every week. Sometimes they're random. Sometimes people give us topics, but we will discuss anything that you want to see us talk about. You don't have to come every Tuesday. You can come every Tuesday. You can come every once in a blue moon. It's totally up to you. All we ask is that if you do want to join in on the show, is that you chime in at the beginning stage of the show versus middle or end, so we don't have to catch you up, and to not have your background noise going, because it does get hard to hear when there's a lot of other people at one time. So TVs, dogs, doorbells, people, all that's kind of gotta go somewhere with that. And then of course having earbuds keeps the noise down too. Have also learned that if you open the show using a browser, it seems to cut down on the clicking noise that can happen when you do get a couple heads in here talking at one time. So with that being said, we got a couple more folks coming in, so I'll keep just doing a little bit of introduction. If you want to join the conversation, and we're not really going to have a whole lot of space left for any more people tonight. I mean, we probably will have maybe one or two more guests join the show because we got a full house, and I'm loving it. Thank all of y'all for joining us tonight. But if you want to join the conversation, you can hop over to my personal page, Q's personal page, or our Free Thinkers page, and we have the instructions on how to join in the StreamYard link. You just click the link or copy and paste it in your browser, and it will open up the StreamYard app. You don't have to download anything. It's free. Or if you don't want to be on the show and you're like, no way, not doing it, then you can always go and engage with us on the live feed in the comment section, and we will try to keep our eye on the comment section. For anybody that's watching us on our YouTube page, thank you so much for joining us over there on YouTube. Please do follow us on our YouTube page. It's Free Thinkers Worldwide. Subscribe. We will turn around and subscribe right back. Always show love. And of course, language warning. These are adult conversations that we have. I, for one, use colorful language. Everybody does not always, but I do. So it's totally up to you whether or not you want your kids involved or not.
Nikki first and foremost.
I gave the disclaimer. So
we're just having a conversation. So
we are just having a conversation.
It's just a conversation. All opinions are welcome, but be prepared to have a defense. People will question your opinions. We don't despise your opinion, but we will question it and we will interrogate it, and be prepared to give a response for why you feel or think the way that you think. And it's all good. That's all.
Yep. So that's pretty much, what to expect, what what Free Thinkers is. And, of course, please share. That is literally the most cheapest support that you can offer your friends, is to hit the like button, is to hit the share button. It costs absolutely nothing. If you're not afraid to hit the share button, please do, because one of these days we're going to be somewhere and you're going to be like, I know those people. I know those people. I know that little head with the headphones, and you are a part of that. So You sharing and you liking and us getting these algorithms up definitely moves us along in the World Wide Web. So please hit the share button. Tonight our discussion last week, towards the end, we kind of got into some interesting conversation, which led us into this week's conversation. So this week we are talking about, essentially, there's a show on Netflix called, it's Y, of course, the Y chromosome, The Last Man or something. And essentially it's about a, I don't know what you call the word, some kind of, I don't know, pandemic happens, let's just say that, right? And anything that is Y chromosome, anything that is male, from animals to humans, is all decimated.
That changes everything.
Everything
is
decimated.
Let me see. I thought it was the last person on Earth. Okay, this is just the last
we're going to go there too, because I know there was one that Matt was interested in a couple weeks ago, is what happens if I wake up and I'm the last person. No, this is anything male is decimated. But there is only one man left. And so the whole show goes about just trying to protect him, of course, but get him to the scientists to essentially, turn him into the juice of life, right? And be able to repopulate the earth. That, kind of also came from a conversation we had 2 weeks ago about, just expectations of women and men. And so we're going to kind of like tie all these little things into, what if there were no men? What if there were no women? What would you do if you woke up and you were the last human? So that's what tonight's topics are going to be about. And you don't have to have watched the show at all to participate. That's just kind of where this all came from last week. So did any of y'all, I know Stokely, you were on last week. I don't know, Matt, if you got a chance to check it out last week, or Armand, but have you guys seen this show on Netflix at all?
Well, I bought the comic book that it's based on,
It is a Marvel. I learned that earlier today, and I didn't know that it was a Marvel comic. So you're familiar already.
Well, yeah, a little bit. I mean, I didn't follow the series, but I got the basic idea.
Okay.
I guess the military, like you said, releases like a genetically engineered virus, and it goes wrong, and it winds up killing everything with a Y chromosome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't understand how they could make food without, because if you want to make cows and beef and stuff, you still need.
You have to mate them, right?
Trying to figure out how in terms of just what kind of food they eat, but that's just me. That's just how my mind works.
Damn, I didn't even think about the plant species dying
some plants, they don't all reproduce asexually
right.
Male plants. So
remember on Jurassic Park when they said that all the
frog DNA
were female.
Mm-hmm.
You remember Jeff Goldblum said life will find a way, and they found eggs and they found baby dinosaur footprints going away from the eggs.
Yeah.
Because their explanation was that some certain frogs have the ability to change from male to female in certain environments. So because they use some of that DNA to fill in the gaps for the dinosaurs, that's what happened. That was the explanation.
Certain people do now.
No, certain people say that they do.
No, you didn't.
Certain people claim that they do.
You've been waiting to say that. So do you think, and you'll have to bear with me because I'm by no means am I a science major by any means. I mean, I know there's obviously asexual animals out there, and animals have evolved, dropped legs, dropped wing, dropped fins for legs, just different shit like that. Do you think that somewhere down the line that would even be remotely possible for humans, animals, and plants to I mean, it's not possible. It's not possible for humans to reproduce without a male and a female.
Why not?
Plants?
Ain't they're cloning already, right?
They what?
Cloning already, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you still have to have, I would imagine, the sperm and the egg.
Well, what about all the sperm banks?
But you still have sperm going into an egg.
Well, I'm saying if you have all these sperm, if all this happens, is all the male sperm gonna die? Like,
Oh,
and I was gonna say, Matt, that's a good question, because if sperm banks are a thing in that universe, theoretically they got the Y chromosome on ice somewhere, right? In some
Right.
refrigeration unit, right? So
They got
wouldn't
to
that
use
sperm have
all of them.
survived? I mean,
because you can't have
Or-
one man repopulating the world.
You
well, but
can.
we talked about that
You
last
can.
week, and Q swears you can.
Absolutely.
yeah, except
But then all the kids are going to be brothers and sisters.
That's what I said. Everybody's kinfolk. This is
We
weird.
are all brothers and sisters.
I mean, like they said, we all come from the same like African DNA. Like I read on an article that like an ancient man, like I think they said South Africa or Southeast Africa, and like a thousands-year-old woman from like I think the same part of Africa. They're like the ancestors of all human DNA. I mean, so I'm guessing at some point. Oh, sorry.
I was like, we gotta get your Bluetooth on
Yeah, sorry, but so I'm guessing. I mean, at some point, if we all came from the same two people, that
I don't think everyone came from two people.
Okay, let's dive into this. What do you
that
think,
turns
Matt?
into where do we come from then?
Right, let's tap it for a second. Where you
Next week's topic.
I do not know where we came from,
Right.
but it's not feasible for everyone to come from two people.
It is based upon the progression now. So 1,000 years from now, then the population, I think we are 7 billion now. Maybe 1,000 years ago, what was that? 4 billion, and 1,000 years before that, we was at.
That much.
So if you look at the rate of growth, then you can trace it back to a certain number, which could be 2. Like, why wouldn't it? If we're currently multiplying right now, multiplication will start at 2. If you go into the base of it.
But if a brother and sister right now have children, isn't there like genetic defects in the child?
Yes.
So
there can be.
Right. We've seen that they say that there are, so we can't say that there aren't.
And who's to say that's not why we screwed up now?
Right.
The reason people so screwed up.
We all got a little throw gene in there somewhere. The remnants.
Right, exactly.
Remnants of incestuous
So depending
shit.
on how close you are may make you more screwed up in certain ways. But so what they'd have to do, he'd have to go on a world tour. He'd have to hit 3 or 4 places and go state to state, and then you trying to spread it out over a period of time to where when those kids grow up, then they're gonna have to hit another untapped womb,
but
and you just try to keep it spread out as much as possible.
So did you just say that once those kids grow up, you have to hit another untapped womb?
Well, it's still plenty of women. It's still plenty of women.
Okay, I got you. I
just want to ask a question. Like,
I ain't saying mess with your family. I'm saying there's other.
I was like, what?
Right.
I mean, but they're all family. Everybody's a cousin.
No, there's plenty of women. No, there's plenty of women. Only the children are going to be related by the man.
Okay.
Well,
there's still millions of billions of women.
But there's a lot of women that you won't want to have children with. Like he'll be like, "No, I'm not."
You gotta take it for the team. But out of billions,
I read an article that said you need about 100,000 people on the earth for the genetics to be different enough, so that when you do have sex, that the genes aren't so close together that is. I think they said when you reach like 100,000 people, there's like enough diversity in the genes such that if you. I mean, don't quote me on the 100,000 figure because it could be higher than that. It could be lower. But I think they said that scientists studying this said that like when the gene pool reaches like a certain number of people, the genes have like spread apart enough that it's no longer like incestuous, where the genes aren't so close together that there are like, that there's like genetic defects and things. And I mean, there's like fewer genetic defects.
Well, you can have. I could be your third cousin removed and not have the effects of
True.
So yeah,
we from Decatur.
Hey,
we from Decatur, everybody.
Hey,
I bet me and Matt probably related somehow.
Right. The more Armand talks, he starts moving back and he creates the tightrope.
Okay, I saw that too. I was like, damn. He walking the tightrope.
Right.
Yeah, sorry. But yeah, I got these headphones on and they're like connected to my computer and they don't go that far.
Nikki, let me ask you, Nikki, as a woman, there's one male left on Earth and you have a say so. What would be your top priority in world preservation? Would it be saving meat for food like animals? Would it be focusing on that man to repopulate? Would it be focusing on cloning, like genetically cloning? Like, what would be your top priority to make sure that life continues?
I mean, assuming there isn't like, like, so in the show, like all of the laboratories and stuff were like destroyed, right? So like everything is ravaged. So there is so there's no way to actually get the sperm so that was the whole point of the show, is they're trying to get this man to this doctor to try to, like, I'm sure use whatever sperm they can get out of him to put it on ice and save it for whatever. So let's say that there is no laboratory available, like literally, I mean, preservation of self, of course, but like you have to repopulate, but at the same time, it's like, I mean, are we living in, archaic times, right? I mean, is a woman going to be able to, give birth? I mean, there's so many variables. What if the woman
Nikki,
dies giving birth,
Speaking of self-preservation.
And I have a question about that
Armand.
real quick, because I read this about the Sammy Hagar, the front man for that group Van Halen, that rock group.
Uh-huh.
I read he once had so much sex on tour that he literally ran out of sperm. So
rockers from the 70s and 80s probably.
Did he permanently run out of sperm, or did he just?
Well, no. I mean, I'm sure his body regenerated, because I'm sure he hasn't stopped. I'm sure he hasn't stopped having sex. But I mean, I'm just saying. But I mean, I didn't even know that was a thing that was possible.
Right? Is that even possible?
But
you probably could if you're letting it go faster than you can produce it.
I've gone on binge it. I've gone on some shit where, excuse my French, by the way. I've gone on some shit before where like 2 or 3 days, and that 4th day I ain't got nothing for you. So
really,
that's true.
Okay.
It ain't a never-ending supply.
I ain't got nothing for you on the second.
The first 3 days, your boy killer. Back in the day, back in the day.
But you also have to be very selective on, like, if he gonna hit 3 a day, it just can't be random heavens. You gotta they'd have to know that, hey, she's primed and ready, she's primed and ready, she's primed. We want to make sure that we getting the best bang for our buck on every single occurrence.
But here's another question. Here's another question. Now, you said take ones for the team because a man ain't gonna want to sleep with certain women. But you can actually improve humankind by only having him mate with certain women.
I don't want to.
That's eugenics, man. Holy shit!
You want to go with the smart people, then you want to go with the most athletic people to be.
There you go.
I mean, if we're trying to repopulate, wouldn't we want the smartest, strongest, most agile,
I think you need to
have people.
I mean, yes. And obviously, if you're the only one, it doesn't matter at this point. Just get it going.
When I come to your city, you need to have the
point, but I think biodiversity exists for a reason. I think that the reason why there's so much, I think it might exist for like a genetic reason too. You know what I mean? I think the reason why there might be short people and tall people and, all different kinds of people might actually benefit, that kind of diversity. I think it benefits humanity.
Yeah,
I think in most cases, it depending on geographics, that's like a giraffe. A giraffe had to over time stretch his neck out because that's where the food was. Geographically, it's
so. That brings the question: like, why are there so few? And I say so few. I don't know the number exactly. Why are there so few people that are taller than 7 feet tall? Why are there so many people that are midgets or short people? Actually. About 4 or 5 years ago, there was a conversation about dwarfs and small people and little people and midgets. And that question was asked, well, why are there so few people that are over 7 feet tall? Like Robert Ludlow, the tallest man back in the day, he was like
Right.
feet tall.
From Illinois.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm.
But genetics has some, I would think, down the line, historically, in their family, their traits. I don't know.
Not with those people. Those are people who have they have gene. I mean, what you call that? They have issues, gland
thyroid
issues
glands and thyroid issues. That's right.
Oh
But now
yeah, where it causes
talking about
overgrowth.
the Sudanese people who are naturally
Right.
there's certain tribes in Africa who are naturally shorter, and there's some that's
Right.
naturally taller.
Right.
So why? I don't know.
Well, I
that was
know
a
I read
conversation that was
something
4
that
years
said
ago.
like Africa has the most biodiversity on Earth. Like they got what the Maasai tribe, they're like 6 foot. Average height for men is like 6'4", and the
That's where I'm
average
from.
height for women is like 6'2". But the pygmies,
Wow.
they're like below 4 feet, I think.
Yeah, small.
Yeah, and so like if I'm wondering like if a Maasai person and a pygmy person got together,
They'd have an average person.
They'd have a normal height person.
Yeah.
They balance out.
We got a trader just stepped on the scene. I see.
She repping them brains.
Ooh-wee. Oh my goodness.
We got Texas versus Atlanta here.
She ain't even from there.
Oh
It don't
man.
matter. That's where I met Matt, though. That's where
She
I
said,
met.
I've been there long enough, damn it. That's where I pay my bills at.
That's exactly what it's about.
Well, it's okay. You still good with me.
We up 3-0 right now.
Oh,
Okay. That's what people doing watching the game right now.
So, as far as I guess I don't know if anybody knows, but even like a basketball player, if one basketball player is tall and the other person is short, then the child will still end up tall, or I mean, sometimes tall or short. What decides which
The dominant
genes they
gene.
take? Yeah,
right.
But like I was gonna say, like some couples, like what's that singer name? I think her name is Tiana Taylor. She's only like 5'2",
Mm-hmm.
but her husband is Imani
6'5".
Shumpert, and he's like
6'5".
what is he? 6'9", something like
No,
that.
he's 6'5".
Oh wow! So I mean, looking at them, I mean, like for me, it's kind of weird looking at them. I mean, because when I look at them, I kind of have to wonder, like how does that? Like I'm like, kind of how does that work? Like that height difference. I mean, what? Like, I mean, like, like when
She jump on it just like anybody else will jump on it.
I
It's not going to be a problem.
no.
Like, I'm wondering, like, does there have to be a step like?
Nah.
Matt,
Now
what you
we
doing,
lay
Matt?
down.
I said you put her on and spin her around.
He yelling too much. Yeah, I mean, I was thinking like, just you see in the NBA, even like back in the day, it was rare that someone was even 6'5", 6'4", 6'5". Now you've got everybody in the league is 6'6" and up.
Yeah, 6'9", 6'8".
And so I don't know if that's like over time, our bodies, our genetics are changing that dramatically. I mean, you can go back to the 60s and it was rare to see somebody 6'5", 6'6" in the NBA. When
Really?
when I played. Go
I
ahead.
think it's more of where the game is going, right? So when you started getting one tall person, and you can see how he was more dominant in the ability to score and actually get to the actual hoop, then the recruitment went towards that lane.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's always been tall people. It's not.
See, that's the question. Were they just not athletic and they just weren't into basketball? Were they just because when I played football in school, it was one of our biggest guys was probably 6'4", 280, 300 maybe.
That was 100 years ago.
No, it wasn't that long ago. Don't let this gray beard fool you. It wasn't that damn long ago. I mean, but really, I was like, and now you got kids in high school. Matter of fact, we went to eat dinner last night and at the Akita hibachi place, and they had these high school football players and they're shooting like a district commercial or something. And all them kids were like, I mean, 6'5", 6'6", 6'7", 300 pounds. I'm thinking like, God dog, what's really going on? So I don't know.
See, and I feel like I see the total opposite. As a tall woman, like I'm 5'9.5", and I love the little half piece because
Okay.
I swear I used to be 5'10". But as a tall woman, like I never see tall people. I don't. Like, when I go out, I am the tallest fucking person. Like when I walk in the building, especially if I have on heels, I am exceptionally tall. Like I rarely see tall men or tall women. And it's kind of been like a running joke between me and my friends, prior to COVID when we would go out way more frequently. I'd be like, y'all know I can see everybody in here and there's nothing in here tonight. Because there's no height. Like I was just at my niece's homecoming game last week, and it was for the varsity football team, and I was like, these are the littlest 12th graders I feel like I've ever seen. Like, and it can't just be because I'm like an adult, like an old person now, but I feel like everybody is just fucking smaller than what.
Man.
When I was in high school, all my guy friends were 6'3" to 6'9". Like everybody when I was in high school was big, tall ass dudes, and I wasn't the tall chick always. I always had a couple girlfriends who were my height, but now I feel like I don't see height for shit anymore.
You know what your problem is?
Well, it could be
I can tell you what
What?
your problem is.
I'm too tall.
No, you're not. You don't see what you're looking for. So
I be looking for height. That's the first thing I look for. Shit.
That's what I'm saying. But why are you looking for height?
Because nobody's tall anymore. All men are shorter than me.
I'm not shorter than you.
I'm telling you, is what you're
Barely.
looking.
Yeah, because I got out the car and you're like, damn, you're really tall.
Doctor.
No, it's
But on another
not seeing
note,
what you're looking for. That's all.
But on another note, I work in a junior high, and there's a girl in 6th grade taller than me, and there's 2 girls in 8th grade taller than me, and I'm 5'10".
Wow.
There's this girl in the 6th grade. She's got to be 6'1" or 6'2".
Oh, wow. I mean, obviously, if we know it happens, and those are the girls who are usually on the volleyball team or they're on the swim team or they play basketball, if they're doing sports.
Yeah, she can't post up for shit.
Oh, and I didn't do nothing with my height. I just made it look good. I didn't do shit with my height at all. But there just wasn't today. I feel like I don't see tall people. Like I really, really don't. So it's interesting that you mentioned that. There has to be, right? Obviously.
Yeah, my nephews are 6'2" and 6'8", and the younger one's 6'8".
How old is he?
Yeah,
he is 17.
Damn, it's a tall kid.
Yeah, he's been tall.
I have nephews that are twins, and one is 6'5" and the other one's 5'10", and they play football at Texas Tech. And I don't know what the hell happened there, but both of them, play football.
My daughter's 4'11". I'm 5'10", and her mom is 5'4", 5'5", something like that.
Wow, so she got the shorty gene in there somewhere.
I did too.
Did you? Yeah.
Yeah, my sister is probably 5'8", 5'9". My mom's probably about 5'7", 5'8". My dad's tall, like 6 foot. My brother's 6'2", and I'm 5'4".
Oh wow!
Like everybody else is tall, but I'm the short person. Like
right. That's interesting. Now, what about your son? Your son seems like he's tall.
He's tall. He's probably 5'8" now.
Okay. See, my oldest son, who's about to be 15, is already over 6 feet tall. He's bypassed my daughter, and she's taller than me. So she's taller than me. And then he's, and he's still growing, but there's a lot of height on my family though. And then my youngest son, he's definitely well over 5 feet tall. He's 11. But I mean, even like their friends, my kids have always been like the tallest kids in school too. So just getting into the genetics conversation, interesting because, what'd you say, Armand? It takes 100,000 people.
This article I read said that scientists said that you need 100,000 people on the earth so that the genes are separate enough that there won't be as much inbreeding and genetic defects and stuff like that. And as the number goes up, the genes get further and further apart so that there's less chance that you'll be having sex with a relative or something
Right.
like that.
Let me ask.
Relative
Okay,
or something like that.
Go to Decatur. That happens all the time.
you was
That was
late.
mentioned.
You was late. Tierra.
That was mentioned.
already covered.
Quentin already said that.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I'm late. I'm
I've
late.
never tried that on my cousin.
Well, let me follow up with this, especially ladies. How much of that would matter? Like, you got this man. I don't know how old the man is, but you have a limited amount of time for him to spread
pregnant.
seed around there. So, like, would you be overly worried about height and intelligence, and we need to make sure we with the smartest? And especially, women, all y'all gonna think y'all the smartest. And like, if one person get chose over, like, what makes them more qualified than me?
I mean, but we're talking about at that moment, he's the only man to be able to populate. So,
But I'm talking about as far as women finding people to mate with, like how.
okay, so
picky
not
are
the
you gonna be?
instance. So not the instance of just the only man.
Right, not the only man, but I'm saying
Right.
if you wanted to make a
Okay.
dominant species, then you would get the tallest, most
Yeah.
athletic, intelligent woman, and you would pick those to mate with because that's what you're trying to reproduce. But like, how much of that will matter if you got a limited amount of time?
I think if you're limited, you just don't pick the shittiest of the barrel. Like I'm just saying. I mean, I'm not known for lying.
Ooh, okay.
A lot of women do that anyway.
I got another question, ladies.
Women do that anyway.
Would you?
I mean, don't we all?
Yes, they do.
Hold
A lot of women.
Hold on. This is a good question. How picky would you be with the selection process? Say there's a committee or there's a government in place, and they're picking who this person impregnates, and then you find what, they show picking a whole lot of white people for this person to make babies with it. They show picking a lot of Asian people. Like, how conscious would you be of that? Or you like, we just need to save all humanity, or would you still be racially conscious?
With the pain involved, I'll be one to say, I'll pass. Let them do it.
Well, I would say this.
Even if it was you personally, but still,
Well, there'd be no master race at all.
Yeah, so maybe it'd be a better thing.
How do you know?
I don't know.
What you mean it's not going to be a
I
master
don't know.
race?
But we'll find some way to separate and class each other eventually, because that's
Well,
what
the
we
man
do.
is the man is a black man. I mean, it's gonna make everyone black.
But
Yeah,
if
it's going to turn the whole population black. If it's a black man.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just, would that be something that you are conscious of?
I think people with survival of the fittest, they trying to save the humanity. A lot of things come. Like,
I'm glad. Yeah,
well, Q, but I'm thinking no. But I'm thinking no.
Hold on just a second. Hold on a second.
Sorry.
Tierra, what are you saying?
Yeah, because my thing is when you come to a certain point in your, like, if you have a fight or flight type of response, you don't think about the what ifs and all this other stuff. You just are fighting to save life or fighting to save your life. So a lot of things and rationalities that you may have had, if you had time to think and process things, goes out the window. It's really survival at that point. That kicks in, and all those other things go by the wayside.
Okay, I'm gonna go back. Go ahead, Armand. What are you saying? All right, Armand, go ahead.
Well, I was going to point out too, if we're talking about the last man on earth, then that means whatever is in his genes is, you're just going to, if he's the only one, then that means whatever like genetic diseases he has predisposition for or anything like that, it's going to pass through to his offspring, because if he's the only source of the Y chromosome, the male sperm on earth, then that means that all the women that he has sex with, their children are they're gonna be carrying whatever his genetic predisposition for diseases and stuff are.
And there.
Let me ask a question. I got a lot of interesting questions. Would you, ladies, do you feel that you would even try to be selfish, or would you just give it up? Like, this is what I'm saying is, this is the last man on earth. Are you going to fight? Like, look, man, this last teen on earth, I need to get my fix once in a while. Or you be like, it ain't enough to go around, I'm gonna just
Pass.
relegate to, I'm gonna pass. I'm gonna go to different means.
I got my.
Or would you say I need to go for the lottery and try to get my winning ticket? You just give a black man with that.
And it's more than one woman. I mean, it's like several women, and it's
all
just
the
one
women
man.
is still on. The women
Yes,
are
all
still on
women.
Earth. It's just
There's literally just one man.
All of them.
I would.
oh my goodness. I still got so much.
I would like y'all go ahead and have it. I would go make me a makeshift toy or something.
Stop it.
No,
You don't have to have a
that's
makeshift.
my next question. That's my
You
next
still
question.
got your toys that you got now.
No, hold on.
Oh,
hold
okay,
on.
I didn't know if it was. I didn't know if that
Oh,
scenario was like.
They weren't destroyed. They still
Oh,
they're still
I
there.
would get my toy. I wouldn't.
The man in the lab.
Hold on.
Yeah.
I got another question. Y'all spark my brain sparking like crazy now. All right, ladies. So, for those of you who are not interested in studs, but now all the men are basically gone, are you now going to be open to a stud now, since that's the next closest thing to a man?
No.
Oh. I mean, that's like us asking y'all, would you,
And the people
Would
in
you-
prison, the answer
you
is
know, I mean, but this is not a prison scenario. This is like,
It
this
is,
is
it
free.
is.
This is free world situation. You
No,
know,
it's the same scenario, because you don't have, for men who don't have access, some don't, but some will. They be like, look, a hole is a hole, and then that's what they go for. And then they say, once I get out, then I'm just y'all.
I mean,
don't
that's
act like
true.
y'all ain't
That's
heard
true.
this
No,
before.
that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Okay, but like, I feel like if you're gonna do something, you might as well get somebody that's pretty and not know the stud. I mean, what's the point of that? But
Right.
I just think that, if you're looking for male companionship and you try to replace it with something like, it's still not it. So my thing is, why even entertain it? I mean,
Okay, it's just a question.
Well, and I guess because maybe in this scenario, if there isn't another man out there, like,
nothing out there.
how many of us are gonna get lonely? How many of us are gonna want companionship?
So
you know,
now you got
We'll
the
be the golden
Chaz,
girls.
you got the Chaz Bonos, you got the I mean, now even trans people, because they don't have the chromosome, so they didn't die. They still look like, some of them still look like men. They just they wasn't born as a
Well,
man.
when I was reading the comic, they said some of the women. They said that in the comic, the women that survived, that they basically became.
Somebody hit a home run.
Yeah, and so you're talking about like the trans thing. I mean, yeah, before they found the man, some of them had to basically just dress up like men. And
you right, Armand. They did have it in the show too. And there was an issue with the women dressing up as men too. There was something about that. I don't remember.
But they absolutely, some of them absolutely look like men. They have beard, they have muscles, they have shoulders, chest, everything.
Oh yeah, I seen a few of them when I worked.
And then some of them, if they have the implants,
and they still
the penis implants and stuff like that, they can give you what you're looking for. Would you go that direction, Nikki?
No.
But they look like men.
It's not the same.
The only reason you know that is because
she ain't gonna help me repopulate this earth any more than that motherfucking tree stump. So no,
you don't only have sex to repopulate the earth. You don't only get into a relationship to repopulate the earth.
No, but in this particular context, that is certainly what we're talking about. And I'm not interested in women at all. Like, women are beautiful. I think we're phenomenal creatures, but I'm not sexually attracted to women. I'm not emotionally attracted to women. Like, I don't foresee there being an instance where I could just turn that off and then all of a sudden now, like, I have a desire or an attraction for a companionship of a woman. Like, nah, I'm good. Like, being celibate is not fucking difficult. It really isn't, so I'd rather do that. So I'm far better with that than like making the next best thing work when that's not what I want. No way.
Devaluing companionship to only mean something sexual, when you can have companionship with good friends,
right?
And that can be of male species or the female species and be just fine,
right?
You don't have to be necessarily lonely, you know what
right
I mean?
Right.
Well, yeah, a lot of people say that when the option is there. But when there is no option, then things start changing.
When there's only one dude left.
Right.
We adapt. I mean, we as animals, as we always adapt. So I don't think that would be as much as a problem as we think it would be.
I think that there would definitely be
that up.
I think there would definitely be many women that probably would go that route for companionship reasons, or just I think a lot of people would.
So, okay, hold on. Let's dumb this all the way down, Nikki.
Okay.
It's just I'm gonna give a couple scenarios. Forget about just women left on Earth. It's just you and one other person on Earth. Are you going to be physical with that one other person if it's a woman?
For what purpose?
Because that's it. Y'all the only ones left.
Ain't
even nothing to be embarrassed about. You ain't nobody else there but y'all.
I don't like. I mean, the today me would say no, because nothing about that is intriguing to me. Like, I'm not turned off by that, but I'm not turned on by it either. So
you don't think you would be more turned on if y'all was the last people on Earth?
I don't think so.
Not when you could satisfy yourself. I
mean, there's that.
You know what I'm saying? Why go over, cross over that goalpost to just be intimate with a woman when you could just be intimate with your damn self?
You damn sure.
Man, that's a microwave. That's a microwave.
Hey, well, wait a minute.
Being intimate with yourself it's a quick fix, but it ain't a permanent.
Because if you just want to release that, moment, that's all you need is the release. You don't have to compromise your morals and values and what you believe in just because it's the last.
You the last one on Earth. What is it to be moral about? It ain't number two of y'all left on Earth.
Well, wait a minute.
See, I just, my thing is, and don't get me wrong, I have nothing against whatever y'all do, but Q and if Q and Matt were the last two on Earth, would y'all?
Damn. I knew somebody was gonna
I'm just asking.
I knew somebody was gonna go.
I'm just asking because if it's me and Q, we dying alone. Y'all
gonna die out anyway. Shit.
We ain't gonna be no hold me tonight. None of that. It's just
no glory hole.
Well, no.
I mean,
no.
You put on the right booty shorts, Stokely. Then I don't know.
No sir. No sir.
But honestly, we don't know what.
And I wouldn't even be able to call. I wouldn't even be able to call the line.
Right. That's what's like the today me, right?
Yeah, we can
right.
Okay, so they do say that humans need to touch, to live. We need human touch.
I don't know.
It's the same thing with a baby. When a baby does not get the human touch, they withdraw.
Yeah.
They withdraw. Yeah. You can't comfort them no matter what. If they don't get that in their, immediate newborns and stuff like that, you're gonna have a difficult, baby, child, a young, child, adult growing up. So yes, we do need the human touch, but how far are you gonna go as far as like what you were saying to, a hug from a sister? Okay, fine, bye. I can go home and say, hey, if I'm feeling that way, I'm just gonna pleasure myself. I don't think I need to rub. I don't know.
This is what I want, Miss Annette. This is what I want to dig in, and I'm not trying to force y'all to think different than what you're thinking, but I'm trying to drive the point home. Ain't nobody left but you and that person. It ain't nothing to like. What I'm trying to find out, like, what's gross or unattractive to us now. Would it still be the same thing if there are no societal rules that say you should or shouldn't do? It's just you are.
I'm the last person you can ask that. I'm 10 years in, so I'm good.
I don't know.
But it's like me and Tiara said, like the today us answering this question is like, because we have so many options, right? Like this isn't even a fathomable type of scenario unless we're locked up. But I still don't foresee I guess maybe because I've been okay with being alone for quite some time, that like that doesn't I don't there's not a fear in that, like, and like Tiara said, like you can still have companionship, you can still have like an emotional attachment in a relationship, and you can still have your some of your emotional needs be met by a platonic friendship. Doesn't have to be a romantic relationship.
Like, if it reaches the point where like the survivors are just desperate, like or stuff like that. Like, see, Nikki, I understand your point, but I think Q's point is when you reach that moment of desperation, like where you are literally been like alone for so long, like nobody to talk to, like prisoner in solitary confinement. I think that's what Q's kind of getting at.
A part of it could be desperation, but I'm not even specifically talking about desperation. I'm just talking about it just don't matter. Like, there's nobody there.
It don't matter. It don't matter.
Judges, there's no one condemning. There's no sin. There's no right or wrong. It's just you and another person.
So we got to first start on the basics.
I'm just not gonna be comfortable with you. You a big dude. I'm just not gonna feel comfortable with it at all.
I'm with you. Just this is only the moderator and me.
But I feel like, okay, if me and Stokely were the last two men on earth, then
let's talk about it.
Hold on, Matt. Hold on, dog.
We'd be so busy trying to survive that some things wouldn't even matter.
Right.
I don't know. It'd be like, first of all, y'all gonna be like, we need to find these sex dolls. I know they got the
we can't lay up in the hammock together. Oh man.
Sex dolls, then you be like, well,
you have people like fighting over Playboys and stuff like that. And
there's plenty of them to go around, but I mean, it's only one other human to go around. That's it.
Nikki made a good point earlier. Like, it's hard to really wrap your mind around something like that when you're not in that position, and being locked up. I've seen enough of those locked up and locked up abroad shows where, shoot, they be like, shit, I'm in here for 40 years. I may as well do something. But
they don't even have to be 40 years. Them women went crazy. When we did searches, I was in shock with the things that you find. Some women just have to have the penetration.
Oh,
yeah.
They just have to have that. But if you're mentally, calm about it, you don't have to have actual penetration. For all women don't have to. Because it's all in the mind.
Eddie, I think this is what I feel. I don't feel like y'all putting yourself in the situation. Y'all speaking from where you are right now. That's what.
You can't really think outside of that, because Damie would not be physically or sexually attracted. I'm not attracted to women. Women can be beautiful, like it's all get out, but like to want to lay with one, I'm good. No, I got me. I'm straight. I mean, literally, but
there was like this nerve this gas or whatever that killed all the males, and he only survived because he was underground and he had like a gas mask. I think it was in some kind of bunker or something like that. And he came up after everybody had died. So like, we don't know how much time has passed from when everybody died to when he came up out of the bunker, right? So theoretically, right, this man thinks he's like, he doesn't, until he sees like one of the women, he doesn't think there's anybody left on earth, right? So I mean,
he didn't know he was the only man for a long time.
Well, right, yeah, but I mean, I'm just saying, until he met another woman, he thought he was literally the only human being left on earth. Kind of like that movie with Will Smith, right?
Yeah.
So if you literally don't think there's anybody else on earth, basically, Q, I get what you're asking. Like, what would you do if you didn't know there was anybody else and it was just you left? Like, you saw nothing but ruined cities and you didn't know, like. Me personally, I'd probably go crazy. I'm just being honest with y'all. I would. I mean, if I had no interaction, I would lose my mind.
Yeah, I can see that. Me too.
Well, and you see, ironically, a lot of these movies, each of these actors have a pet. So, like in The Last Man, he had a monkey, and of course, Will Smith had the dog. So they have companionship of some sort. But you see, like, or at least you see how they paint the picture of like how critical it is for him to have that dog, and how critical it is for the other show for him to have that monkey. Like, that's all I got. So, you know, on one hand, you know, I guess I can certainly parallel this scenario of, you know, a woman, you know, getting with a woman, or a man getting with a man, when this is literally all I got, you know. But
I got a question. Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I just turned it on. It's on Hulu, not Netflix.
Oh, I thought it was Netflix. Sorry.
A cataclysmic event decimates every mammal with the Y chromosome.
Yeah.
One cisgender man. What the fuck is a cisgender man?
I think that's another way of saying it.
I forgot already what they
Yeah, I think that means he's a straight man. He doesn't. He wants to have sex with women.
Yeah, a male-born man who wants to have sex with a female-born woman.
Okay, I got another question, guys.
Oh,
this one is crazy. All right, man, y'all. Okay, dang. Okay, so
Stacy said like Brokeback Mountain.
thank you. Hold on. Let's get there.
I just can't quit you.
So let's do that. The last man on Earth is a gay man.
Oh shit!
Would it be appropriate to force him to take some for the team? Like, I know you love men, but men ain't here no more. And we need to
they're gonna have to. Basically, they're gonna have to. If the only man, if the only source of the sperm is the gay man,
they don't have to. That's what I'm saying.
I'm saying if they want humanity to continue,
right.
unless they start doing some Island of Dr. Moreau stuff and splicing with, you know what I mean? Splicing with the animals, stuff like that.
She killed my question. Yeah, he can just ejaculate in the cup, and then
I was going to say that too.
Yeah.
Because if he's into men, he's going to say, okay, I understand. Y'all just need the sperm. I'm going to just put it into a cup of something. Y'all can get the turkey baster and help yourself.
Oh my God.
I mean, but if he like ass,
You know, it's only a short shelf life. That shit ain't good for a while.
They could be right there. He just out.
Isn't it like 72 hours?
I've never timed it, but I'm just saying it's like a short.
Ladies, I have another question. I got another question, ladies. This is interesting. Because they the ones who left on Earth. There's only one man left on Earth, and I kind of know what men gonna say in a lot of these scenarios. Women, with the rules of consent change, because this is a scenario, it's only one man left on Earth. He starts to repopulate. Some baby girls are born, some baby boys are born. They grow up 10, 11, 12, 13. Are you going to wait until they get to 18 before you tell them it's time for you to get your foot in the game? We got to repopulate. Or are you going to change the rules of consent and say, look, you didn't hit puberty. Now we need you to go and get two, because we got a bigger mission involved.
I think the rules will change.
The rules would have to change.
Yeah, I think the rules will change.
Why would that be the rules of consent, though? What makes you
Because we currently have rules of consent that say you need to be 18 before someone could
of legal consent.
Not in every state.
Okay. Right, some are 16.
Crazy.
Damn,
crazy.
That's a crummy situation. Now we're talking about like Handmaid's Tale shit, where like are we forcing these young girls then to procreate? Like, is that what we're talking about, or just like?
It's plenty of women out there, but think about this: you got a limited amount of women who are at childbearing age, so it would be more beneficial for you to start impregnating the women who are later at the end of the rope, versus one who are younger and they still got another 20, 30 years ago. So you would ideally, if there's only a few men, you would get them to impregnate those 38, 39, 40 in that range while they still can, because that's like maximizing.
But that gets risky because she gets older, and as she gets older, like her ability to get pregnant, stay pregnant, or like they say women who get pregnant in later stages, you have more risk for like chromosomal issues and stuff like that, versus the younger girls, their biggest issue I think would just be their body size. Are they physically able to have a child, to grow one, to actually give birth, being so young, so narrow, so small.
What if we didn't even go that far? He 14. Now you got 24, 25-year-old women, and it's like, this is for the sake of society, for the world.
Well, I mean, I was gonna say in the
But I'm
story,
saying the rules are the rules right now. So are we?
Well,
going
no,
to
actually, Q, it's important to remember in the original story, women control all the government.
I'm creating my own scenarios.
Yeah, they did.
I never saw the story.
They did. Women did control everything. Everything. That's all they had left.
What I'm saying, though. So when the women control the governments, are they going to change the rules based upon the needs of the world?
I hope so.
I mean, I was thinking if they do
they have to.
because I was thinking there's no reason why they wouldn't.
Yeah.
So, and I hate to go here. So if it'd be appropriate to change the rules under those circumstances, why are the rules in place right now? If it would be okay under different circumstances, why is it okay now?
For a long time, it was. The rule was no age limit. It was a lot of people getting married and having kids at 14 and 15 years old.
Yeah, how many of us have grandmothers whose first kid was at 14 years old, and there's like 12 of them in the family?
Yeah,
it's what you did.
I think it just became unpopular to do those things when women's rights came up at a certain point of time, and reproductive rights came up at a certain point of time, and the ability to divorce and not have to women be, use their, have a husband to be able to, maintain and survive. Then the rules started bending. But I believe that the rules were the way they were for a long time, where it wasn't a consent, Well,
I mean, we can go back to like the late 50s, early 60s, where, Elvis Presley was dating somebody who was 14 years old. He's 25. Now, if I was 25 today and I was dating a 14-year-old woman or young girl, shoot.
Right, she is not a woman.
Yeah, thank you. I had to check myself. But, y'all would look at me like I'm crazy.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, I can't see myself having anything in common with someone that young. You see what I'm saying? Conversation-wise, what are we going to talk about? School?
Yeah, that's but that's the thing that they were talking about with that movie Twilight. Everybody's like, oh, he's a vampire, but she's 17. He's like 100, 105, 107.
But he was 17.
I'm saying he may be 17. His body might be 17, but he still has the experience of like a 105-year-old.
She could be mid-70s and still be too young for him.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
I posted on Freethinkers, but it was a 50-year-old who married an 18-year-old, which was his goddaughter.
Oh yeah.
Everybody saw that.
I saw that. That's crazy.
That was total grooming.
But but let me counter that.
I don't think you
see
can
the video.
I can't hear you.
Can't hear you, Tara.
Can't hear you.
Can you hear me?
You probably you might have your finger over the microphone or something.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. But you guys, what I was like, ew, that's disgusting, right? But then I got to see a video of her mother and how her mother was talking about the situation. It was so inappropriate. How she was talking to her about her daughter, right? And then I said, oh, I get it. I get it why she married that.
Got out of the house.
She left because of issues dealing with her family.
Her mom was not around, right? Her mom was like in and out,
of jail.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, it ain't about her. It's about him. And not only first of all, I'm like, look, I don't get it, but you can do what you want to do. But then I found out she 18 and 19, and she got like a 3 or 4 year old daughter by him already. Which means that he was messing with her before she turned 18.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh man.
So the problem, I have the problem with him more so than with her.
Absolutely.
I saw something today. Some girl asked the question, how old were you when you had your first child, and how old are you now? This lady said she's 28. She has 6 kids, and she had her first kid when she was 12. And I was like, well, damn.
I saw that.
Did you see it? I was like, well, damn, But hey, y'all do what y'all want to do. I can't stop.
Well,
okay.
Well, you know, it's only like in American culture, because when you go to other societies, it's okay that a 14-year-old is marrying someone that's 30 years old. You know, we put
but in a lot of those cultures, there's not equal rights with women. It's
right.
Again, but you got to think about it's their way of life.
Well, yeah, but also too, missing that, you also got to think about in a lot of those cultures, they don't have the kind of life expectancy we do. I mean, if you you know, I mean, they don't have the kind of sanitation we got. So if there's a chance you might be dead before you reach 30, it's like, you know,
Your
like back
family
in
needs the money, they're gonna sell your butt off. They're gonna get that dowry for you.
Yeah.
So let me slightly. We got 25 minutes left. I'm gonna shift the conversation just a little bit.
I'm trying.
Let's go from out, and I enjoyed this scenario. We're gonna change the scenario. You are the last person. Well, not even I Am Legend, because it was somebody else. No, you the last person. Ain't nobody left on Earth.
Oh,
I've been planning for that.
We know that.
First question.
That.
What do your first 30 days look like? What do you think? What do you think you're gonna do? How do you think you're gonna kind of conduct yourself for the first 30 days? You're by yourself, nobody else on Earth, as far as you know.
Shelter, food. I'm gonna shelter, get food. Security.
Yeah, period. That's it. Shelter, security, and food.
My first.
Are you going to the gun shop and grabbing a bunch of guns?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
You're the last person.
I mean, I was going to ask so too.
You might not be.
Or you got animals.
Wait, but like, okay, but so are the zoos still around?
Right, the animals.
Yes, the last person, but are the animals still around? Or I mean,
yes, the animals are still around. You just
everything is still everything is still everything except you, the last person.
You just the last person.
Well, shoot, I'm gonna take a few days off. I'm gonna go play a couple rounds of golf.
You gonna take a few days off? And then you going to work back to work after?
I'm gonna reevaluate some things, you know. But security, safety, yeah. That's gonna be it. And then I'm just gonna. But see, I'm a social person, so I need to be around people. I like to be around people. I don't need.
Well, sir, you can always do like Tom Hanks did in Castaway and get one of those volleyballs.
That ain't the same.
Hold on. That's a good question though, Armand. Do you see yourself kind of flipping out that type of way, like him or Will Smith, who still drove to the video store to pick up videos and had
the mannequin?
Yeah. I don't know, man. That'd be tough.
Just think about that. Like if you didn't create those roles in your mind, like what reason would you have to even talk?
Right.
Like
I wonder how long I would last, because like I will talk to inanimate objects every fucking day. Like I'll talk to plants, I talk to trees, like I talk to grass, like I talk to everything, right, that isn't human. Like I can walk by my lamp in my kitchen and be like, "Oh, you're so pretty." Like I can literally have a conversation with the fucking wall. So I wonder how long I'd last.
Let's go back to the Will Smith thing. At some point, you need somebody to talk back to you.
Right.
And he went and talked to the little mannequin girl at the thing. He like, "You don't want to say nothing? How come you don't want to respond? You don't want to something?"
Well, they said inmates that stay in solitary confinement too long, when they open up that door, they're like talking to themselves and like thinking that there are other people there. Because like they said, if your brain stays in solitary confinement too long, you literally start creating different personalities to have someone
That's
talk.
a little different though.
Would you go schizo?
Yeah.
I think that's it.
Especially if you're locked up dark. It's one thing if you're locked up and you have access to day and night, but when it's just fucking pitch black, you lose sense of what time it is, what day it is, how long has it been.
Accelerates the process. So they might go crazy in 30 days. You might go crazy by in 3 to 6 months. Then you might start having those same effects.
Here's the thing. You have access to all the food that's already out. The non-perishables. You have access to every car in your area, access to all the gas in your area. Even if you have to siphon it, you have access to everything.
New clothes, new golf clubs. But it don't matter.
All he want to do is go golfing.
Yeah, but you know, what I mean,
playing golf.
You know you're gonna have to cut that grass, Stokely. That grass gonna get big.
I'm gonna bring some sheep over and let them cut it.
Matt, what were you saying? Finish your point, Matt.
I'm just saying that you have access to everything. And I mean, I talk to the stray cats in the neighborhood. I talk to the birds that I feed. You know, I'm like an old man when it comes to that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been preparing for this for a long time. I would love to be alone. I'd love to take 6 months and go be alone somewhere.
Absolutely.
6 months is one thing, but the rest of your so let me ask you this. Would you, last person on earth, would you continue to learn? Would you continue to study? Would you continue to try to
I think you would have to.
stimulate your mind?
Yeah.
Now, because you're the sole person, you
You would have
you
to.
gotta wear many hats.
Certain things are going to need fixed. Certain things are going to need, you know, because these cars, you only have production cars. You have to learn to fix cars because you're going to run out of cars eventually. They're all going to get old.
You have to learn everything. Eventually, the perishables are going to go bad. Eventually, you know, like you're going to have to grow. You have to learn how to cultivate. You're going to have to learn how to fucking hunt. Like you're going to have to learn how to, you're going to have to learn your seasons. I mean, you're going to have to learn your nuts, your berries, your trees. Like I think that's when the real challenge is going to begin is how much do I actually know versus what did I think I knew?
Yeah.
Well, see, I'm not a survivalist, so I mean, and this is one of those times where you think that shit, being a survivalist would be an awesome something to know.
But then you have access to all the information that you need to learn those things. Like
you would have the access to it, yeah.
But I got a book called The Backyard Homesteader. I have survivalist books. I have stuff that I practiced when I went camping by myself.
I
By
think
yourself?
any human, if it's the last person, they are going to survive. They're going to find a way to survive. I don't know. It depends. Some people would just lay down and say, fuck it. But then some people will say, hell, you know what? I got to gather what food I can get. I got to gather me some ammunition, some guns. You know, I'm going to get the car, do the gas. Some people just going to say, fuck it. I'm just going to go play golf.
Do you think anybody on this panel, do you think you could get to a place where you like, nah, I'd rather not. I think I'm gonna go and take one of my guns and
I couldn't do that.
Never know.
Wait a minute, say that again.
Kill yourself.
Oh no. That's not a fucking option. Not at all. That would never be an option.
5, 7, 9, 10, 15, 20 years.
It would not be an option at all.
But it's like, would we even make it that long?
But
here we go.
I'm a fighter. I'm gonna survive.
What if you, let's say I'm 47. Let's say 20 years down the road, I start having really bad pains somewhere, and then I think, well, maybe I have a huge tumor that's gonna kill me, and I start getting weak, and I start doing all this. Do you just lay down and die, or you just accelerate that?
I mean, I'm going to say for me, because I've been through the pain and, you know, situations with medical, and where I'm at right now is because it's mind over matter. You have to control what's going on.
That.
But we don't have access to, you don't have access to medication or the medical field at all.
Listen, no. I did medication. I found out it makes you, you know, more sick. So my thing is I had to really, really go to the mind, and I still be in pain up to this day, but I tell that pain, you a damn liar. Get to stepping. And that's what works for me.
Let me ask you, outside of that, because let me ask, and I come to you, Tierra. It don't always have to be, well, I'm a survivor, I'm never gonna give up. Sometimes you can get to the end like, ain't nothing else
tired of being there. Yeah,
I ain't got nothing else to prove. There's nothing to gather again. I don't know. Have any of you ever watched The Good Place?
Been there, did that, don't work.
Nobody ever watched The Good? It's a goofy show. But it's, you know, people doing good deeds and they die and they trying to stay in heaven versus hell. But anyway, it's
a new show.
It's 4 seasons. The Good Place is real funny, but at the end of it, I'm gonna tell you the end of it because y'all ain't gonna watch it. Ultimately, they get to the good place. You have everything that you need, everything that you want. You've experienced everything over such a long period. It's like, yeah, this is eternity, but it's There's nothing else for me to do here. I've learned and did everything that I can do. I'm going to go to this last final door to where I cease to exist. And it wasn't because I'm a quitter. I can't take it no more. I'm depressed. It's just like, that's it.
See, I'm, like I was saying earlier, I'm the type that I like being around people. I like having conversation. I like talking to people. I can only read so much. Armand is probably the next biggest reader. I'm going to read everything up in there.
How you know?
He was telling us earlier.
Well, yeah, you're right.
He was telling us. But right. I'm just saying that's a good thing. And the thing about it is you can only do so much of that. So like you said, 3, 5, 7, 9, 15, 20 years down the road, I may just be ready to charge it to the game and be done and just step off a cliff or step into the pool of alligators and let them just feast on all this greatness.
Yes, I can't go on that. It's too much. You can't just set me up on the way out.
I might shoot myself and let myself fall into the alligators so they can.
I think what
it'll be quick.
Is a
I'm gonna be gone
things.
before they get to me.
They're
gonna bite a bullet.
People that really want to, we got to think of the impact of you becoming that last person. That means all the people that you love are gone. That is depressing in itself. Some people don't want to just live without their family.
Think about that for the first 30 days. Everybody ain't even there.
So a lot of people want to connect with those people. So I think a lot of people will off themselves pretty early on in their experience.
I ain't even think about that. You changed that. You changed the game on that one.
Secondly, I would say that people may see it as living in hell, being there that
by themselves, right?
They rather move on because that's hell to them.
Maybe that's where everybody else is. Let me get to wherever they are.
Right.
If you believe in heaven and hell or whatever afterlife,
your
like
family, your brother.
I just can't see myself shooting myself.
And that's my third point. I don't think people would necessarily, the ones that are stronger, would not necessarily go to the gun store and shoot themselves. I think they'll start being careless. And when I mean by careless is like, it's lions,
slapping bears
it's lions out here and stuff.
Get hit by a train or something.
You're not being as cautious as you probably would have or alert. Because like I said, sometimes when you are just going through the motions, you become
Will Smith did. He met them zombies and met them at the end of the dock in the middle of the night.
Start smoking in the bed and fall asleep with a cigarette lit or something,
right. So
I'm taking everything.
I would just
see what this crack.
I would just shoot myself. I'd rather just shoot myself. Okay. But I've come to terms with, if the shit hit the fan scenario happened and, let's say, like Nazi type situations, right? They're coming to take your fucking family and your children and,
torture you.
Your daughters would be raped and your son, I have literally had this conversation with my kids. I said, if those types of times happen to us, and that is literally the only option is they're going to take you and torture you, I will shoot every one of you first and shoot myself last. We will not go with them. We will die together. So I'm at peace with having to shoot myself if that's what I'd have to do, but to have an accident, fuck that. I'd fuck around and live with broken legs and like impaired internal organs.
I'd keep 2 guns with me all the time, and then it's just for me to finish myself off if I need to.
Yeah. I don't know. The today me also thinks that I feel like I would have like this infinite like optimism that there's got to be somebody else here. We just haven't found each other yet,
Would I stay where I'm at and just survive and exist, or would
just move around
looking for people?
I would start searching.
But looking for people also becomes dangerous because we see in all of these movies where it's like, you got to be careful of the people that you find.
Because they can the Mad Max
situation. Eat you.
Yeah.
I mean, if it makes you feel any better, humanity started in a Mad Max situation. Like before human beings got to the top of the food chain, that's what we had to deal with. And the fact that we're still here and we didn't just destroy ourselves pretty much speaks to human resiliency, that we even the most vicious and we still find a way. Like if you look at early human history, that pretty much was a Mad Max situation. I mean, before human beings got to the top of the food chain, it was pretty much you had to either kill or be killed. Yet the fact that we're all still here, sitting around a magic box, you know, talking to each other in ways, you know what I mean, that our ancestors, if we said, hey, there's going to be a magic box and you can talk to each other and look at all the naked people you want, you know.
It's the best.
But you know, I'm gonna throw another scenario out there.
They would have thought a computer is witchcraft.
Right.
A lot of times we see when people, you know, get older, they lose a lot of friends, and they miss that, you know, like all the friends are dying, and they're the last ones left, and they hate it. Or they lose a spouse, and they're still here, and they hate it. What if you never aged?
Oh,
everybody has...
That was like the Green Mile kind of happened.
Yeah, that would be kind of horrible, because even if you don't age, everybody around you is still aging,
dying off.
Like, so you basically got to watch.
So in that scenario, I'm telling you, I'd love it, because you know my body, I don't have to feel the age or getting closer to death, but I probably just end myself at a designated time.
Really?
Once all of my, maybe it depends on what I felt to live, you know, because after my kids, my grandkids, I may want to see my great grandkids and my great great grand. It just depends on how things go. But if you get to a place to where it's just too many,
that's a lot of loss.
Dead memories. Yeah, when
that's
the
a lot
builds
of trauma.
Up so much,
God.
It's like, that'll be it for me.
Man.
But I couldn't say when the time would be, but I take care of myself.
Yeah, but I'm going out the careless way. I ain't gonna be able to shoot myself.
You gonna die. You gonna die in the golf course, get struck by lightning or some shit.
Some go out there
with his hands in the middle of a lightning storm.
I ain't got the heart.
I would not want to do it, but I would rather it be overdone swift and, you know, as less pain hopefully as possible, like straight up.
Like I said, I'm gonna be careless with mine.
It was a zip lining accident.
Y'all check on me. Y'all hear anything?
So we know don't give you no sharp objects.
Yep.
But you know, there is painless ways. I mean, there's people that die from sitting in the garage in a car.
Carbon monoxide. Yeah.
So I mean, take too many pills and never wake back up. I don't know.
Now, do all of these scenarios change? Let's say it's apocalyptic now. So it's EMP. We don't have power. We don't have electricity. Those cars do not fucking run. Those gas pumps will not pump. Like,
and you're the only person left.
You are still the only person left.
We learn how our ancestors did it before all that stuff happened. I mean, there once was a time when there was no electricity and there was no internet.
But we're so spoiled. At least this country, right? At least this country is so fucking spoiled.
Yeah. We're so used to having the things that we have.
We have a lot of like 25 miles away, so I'm gonna make it there and give me horses and buggies.
Yeah.
That's it, boy.
I mean, literally ask yourself, how did you fare during the storm of February? You know what I'm saying? Like, did you do okay, or did you lose your shit during the week of?
I lost my shit.
I believe it. We were chilling over here.
I was about 6 hours in, ready to cuss everybody out.
6 hours.
It was no good. And well, you know, in Dallas, it was like magnified, because it was like, I mean, my driveway had ice all the way down, so you couldn't back out. I got an all-wheel drive. I got an Infinity that's an all-wheel drive car, and that one, it got me to the little store around the corner. But then you got there, and everybody was in panic mode. They bought everything, so I'm up there making sandwiches with honey buns and shit, and that's just crazy stuff. You know, mixing up food that I would never eat normally, just to, you know, really.
We have so nice every year.
Yeah, man, this is crazy. So I didn't fare well. And then when the power was out for 4 days, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So,
that was a big lesson, I thought, to a lot of people.
What do you do with your food? You sit your food outside or something?
Yeah, we have actually, we don't have it anymore now that you mention it. we had a space in the backyard that, like when we have our cookout, big tin bucket thing that had filled up with ice and snow and everything. We put everything in there, and it just kept it, and then got rid of it.
Yep. So what you gonna do in February because you know they fixed our grid, and they already warning Texans to be prepared for winter weather.
They're prefacing this. They're prefacing this with bullshit.
So if they're giving you a heads up, you better go get a fucking generator right now if you don't have one. Straight up,
and they said this is supposed to be one of the colder winters that we've had in a longer time.
They've been saying that shit for 10 years.
But I'm just saying we never can be too ready for it. You know what I mean? Like we got to be prepared for it.
It was 32 degrees this morning when I went outside. So up here.
Damn.
No, sir. I don't want to do that.
I played golf today, and it got down to 57, and it started raining out there. I was like on maybe the 14th, 13th hole. It started pouring down raining, and then it got colder. So.
Oh no! 57.
I mean, preparedness is just an important conversation to have, period. And a lot of people think that people who are preppers are, like we're crazy people, and that's fine. You can call me all the things you want, but you're not gonna call me hungry. You're not gonna call me hungry.
Right? Don't
come here either.
Last February made us do some things differently. We in the front closet, and we all know where it is now. We've got a little bag of stuff. That we didn't even, what's so crazy? We didn't have good batteries for the flashlights. Candles, we had the most scented candles that my daughter had burned down to the quick. So it wasn't even no candle left in that hole. So I mean, it was just
some of my candles.
I thought about you. I was about to give you a little plug. Right there.
Here's the thing: make sure you have flashlights, at least 4 or 5, and make sure you have batteries. I mean, I know you guys. You guys got Harbor Freight. Go to Harbor Freight. Buy some 3 or 4 flashlights.
Get some solar flashlights. Get a solar radio, solar flashlights. Like you can invest in these little things, paycheck after paycheck. Like you don't have to get all these things at one time, but these little tiny things make so much of a difference. And people were so unprepared.
We were that family. Yeah. The family that didn't know until it got cold over there.
Thank you to my daddy and my grandma. We were not those people. We were ready, but I've always been a prepper. So to say that I would have made it for months, that'd have been a stretch. But we can do a lot of things with some beans and some rice. You know what I'm saying?
Good night, people, because I'm over here. It's 10:30 past my bedtime.
Good night, Miss Annette.
And I'm still worn out from Texas. Good night, everybody.
Good night. Yeah. Well, and things like, just firewood, it's amazing how many people don't even have a fireplace in their home, which is fine. Right. But you've got to have a pit. You've got to be able to create some warmth. I learned years ago, because my family's from all up north. And I remember my dad taught us, and my mom taught us years ago that if you keep one candle, the larger the candle, the better. But if you keep one candle in your car, let's say your car breaks down, it's freezing outside, and you're stuck in your car. That one fucking candle may be just enough warmth in your car to keep you from freezing to death. And it's like, sometimes it's just the most basicest of things, but literally that is the type of shit that that is survival of the fittest. That is feast or famine.
People don't even have first aid kits.
You're right.
You gotta do some major happen. Literally, if you
you cut yourself in the car.
People don't have first aid kits. It's those type of things we forget about when it's to the time it's really actually needed. Mm-hmm. So I always keep a first aid kit. It's certain things that I just try to always keep, like a flashlight, batteries, water. But not only just in your home, because a lot of times we don't know if we're going to be at home when the events occur. Right. A lot of times you'll be out and about, and then now it's going to happen, and
never know when it's going to be.
Yeah, so everything's at home, but you can't get home. Mm-hmm. So we were stuck. Have it everywhere. Atlanta did the big freeze that one year, and people were stuck on the road. And I'm talking about overnight. Yes. And that was the thing that told me keep a blanket and a small blanket in your
Mhm.
car, water in your car, some type of nuts or something. Because a lot of times we think we're gonna always be at home, and that's not the case.
Mhm.
Well, I have a get home bag in my car. It's a backpack,
Yeah.
military backpack.
That's your overnight, your spin a night bag, man.
Spin a night.
Oh, I
It's got
guess
ways
so.
to create
Whole
fire.
knapsack.
It's got ways to start fire. It's got ways to purify water. It's got
Yeah.
cordage. It's
Yep.
got shit. What else does it have? It's got first
Condoms.
aid supplies. It has the
Lambskins.
bag. It has
Lambskin.
But these are things you have to think about. Like matches are good. Matches are no good if they're not in a waterproof container. Your matches are
Right.
shit if they're not in a waterproof, receptacle. Things like
I keep tinder. I keep fires. I keep a ferro rod, 2 ferro rods,
a
tinder.
little flint, a little flint, a little wool.
Bag, a knapsack, and send it to your boy.
Look, you better get on some of these prepper groups. These prepper groups is where it's at. They tell you everything that you need to know. What kind of the best kind of knives.
Things you never thought of.
We've got we've got our little thing in the front closet now, and
Good.
we keep stuff in the car. But that candle thing is a good idea. I didn't think about that
Yeah.
for the cars.
I'm actually on forpatriots.com, that website, and I'm looking at solar flashlights, and
Yep.
I mean, y'all got me thinking. I mean,
Yes.
It don't even cost a lot.
yeah,
Dude,
it's
a
like
set of fucking walkie-talkies.
$29.95 plus
Walkie-talkies.
$9.95 shipping
I
and
got
handling.
a radio that you crank
A
up.
crank radio. Yeah, a crank radio. Like I used to want to be a ham operator so fucking bad so I could like communicate to other people during, the times
Really?
of the
Hold on.
apocalypse.
That's the whitest thing you've ever said.
What?
Ham radio.
It must be. I don't even know what you're talking
That's
about.
right. I'm out of
Well, the ham radio. That's man.
I didn't want to say
that's
anything, Matt, but thank you for saying it.
whatever.
You would have been the youngest person on that. Still.
I do, and I would still love to be like my dad got me into shit like that. My dad is a Vietnam vet,
What would your handle be? Would you be like,
I don't know,
Miss Nikki D 6969, something like that?
fuck no.
Pinky Tuscadero.
No.
Y'all
No, I
don't
have
remember her. Y'all
no
too young
idea.
to remember Pinky Tuscadero.
No,
Happy days.
no. What are some other things? Oh, Life Straw. Armand, while you're looking up stuff, there's something
got
called
you,
Life Straw. And Life Straw is literally like a straw tube
Water.
that no
Purified
matter
water.
what you put in that goddamn straw, that water will come out clean as a whistle.
Suck it
You
out.
can take the most toxic water and you run it through a Life Straw and it filters out all of your shit. So I mean,
Wow.
lack of water and lack
Yeah.
of food within 3 to 7 days will kill you.
Yeah.
A friend of
mean-
mine took some of those life straws to Africa
What they-
somewhere
Yeah.
about 3 years ago.
3 minutes without air, 3 days without water, 3 weeks without food.
Mm.
Ooh, I don't know if I can go 3 weeks without no food though, for real.
I did that
This
before.
is why you start stacking up your canned foods,
I did 3
canned
weeks without
beans,
food.
3
can.
weeks.
Yeah.
Damn.
Did it fast.
Yeah.
What did I do? 20. I think I did 24
Yeah,
days.
thanks, yo.
Yeah.
Food?
Did you do water at least?
Yeah, I did water. You
You
have to
did.
do water.
Okay. Shit.
Shit, I
I
did
don't
a fast
know.
this weekend. A 2-day
What's
fast
that?
this weekend.
Ooh.
You did all right then, huh?
Religious fasting.
It was-
Yeah, by the time you do
it
that, you
wasn't
see
because I
God
wanted
too. I might have been hallucinating, but I saw God at the end.
Okay. Yeah, you was hallucinating.
And what people also forget, because we talk about food, water, air, sleep.
Sleep, yes.
Sleep. You can't
Mhm.
survive without because people think, I can, go out, days and days without sleep. Actually, you can't.
Mm-mm.
Right.
No, you start to hallucinate after a
You
while.
start to hallucinate.
Mm-hmm.
All right, y'all. We 4 minutes after, and we got any closing words up. I know once we go long one week, I try to keep us on pace for the next week.
Nah, I think that's it. And honestly, like I said, y'all start really and truly look up some prepper groups. There are some great prepper groups on Facebook. It just kind of gives you an idea of things that maybe you've never thought of and things that you're like, fuck, I may never need this. But there were things that I literally never thought I'd use that I was so glad I held on to some of those things during the storm. So look up the prepper groups. There's a ton of like emergency preparedness books and stuff that you can get involved with. We can throw some stuff in the comment section too. Just just to have an emergency bag. I mean, because we don't ever know. And some of these things we can never prepare ourselves for enough, but sometimes we can, you know, and not being prepared could be life or death.
Hey, Nikki,
something as simple as medication. What'd you say, Matt?
Why don't you start a thread on freethinkers, like for us to just add to as we think? I mean, stuff we know.
Oh, yeah.
Think and stuff.
A prepper
That'd be good because right now I'm still. That'd be a good idea. Thanks, man.
It's good.
I'm still in Facebook jail, so I can't really.
Here's my thing. I'm in the knives. I'm in the survival knives, bushcraft, and all that. I can build shelters. I can start fires in so many different ways.
Yeah,
can you make a knife, Matt?
Having good knives.
I'm about to build a forge in the back. Actually.
Are you really?
Seriously, yeah. I watched.
Wow.
My show has got
Forge
me
in the Fire.
Forge in the Fire. That is my shit.
Loves that show.
I thought about that. I thought about becoming a blacksmith.
Hell yeah. That's the one thing you've ever said.
My son thought about that.
That's some hard work, though, man.
Hell yeah, it is. But that's old school. If you're a blacksmith, you're a walking barter system. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Being able to manipulate and create stuff like that.
So yeah,
well, that's what's up. Okay, we'll put a post up and we'll just throw some things in there.
So if I can't like something that y'all post on Facebook, don't take it personally. Your boy he in Facebook jail. Now I can't say nothing.
You'll be back.
What'd you say?
I didn't say anything. Well, I did. This girl was throwing the N-word out there all freely, and I checked it. Well, I just told her, I said, well, when you get batted in the mouth.
You make sure you come back next week, Armand. Don't disappear.
Said I got
a warning. I got a warning one day.
I did too.
Someone had posted some Ghetto Boys lyrics, and the next one was, I'll stab your ass quicker than a Mexican. And so it got reported.
I just said.
That was Willie D's words, not mine.
Yeah. I mean, I was just saying what needed to be said because nobody else was saying it. And I said, see, when you get batted in the mouth for saying that, next thing you know, she didn't, or somebody, and then she just still out there all willy-nilly.
Yeah, always.
Yeah, Facebook has really became a crazy place.
Ridiculous.
Well, it'll be real interesting to see how this turns with this whole meta shit happen, and maybe we can talk about that next week or whatever. But
yeah.
No, that's it for tonight. Just, think about preparedness. Think about, what would I do in these shit hit the fan scenarios? If I was the only person, I mean, sometimes it's hard to think outside of ourselves right now in this present moment, obviously. But, like I said, if that storm crippled you a little bit, we got to be ready, man. We got to be prepared. So that was it for tonight. Anybody got any news? Tiara, how was grand opening of Black Wall Street?
That's why I haven't ate. I didn't have no sleep. It was amazing. 10,000 strong came through there.
Good.
How many?
10,000 people.
Damn.
For
I'm gonna definitely go by there when
That's what I'm saying.
I know, me too. Road trip. Let's go.
It was amazing.
Y'all come by and pick me up. Congratulations. That's good.
You gotta come by to pick us up, Stokely.
Right.
You out the way.
you got the all-wheel drive. Shit, you coming this way.
Through Austin and then slip through Houston and then we go across.
Oh hell. Okay.
Did you make the sales that you wanted?
Man, I didn't even expect that. Like, I was overwhelmed. I was totally overwhelmed. I was like, whoa.
Wow.
I'm buying stock. I was on the line buying stock earlier when I was stuff for my products before.
Badass. Right on. Congratulations.
Thank you. So it's all good. Go Braves.
They're holding in. They
get off my computer. Get off my computer.
This will be an epic fail if they choke this. Then Thierry, you might not want to get on next week.
I might not get on because it's 6-0 right now.
Oh,
top of the 7th. So it's
top of the 7th.
This will be an epic fail.
All y'all get off my computer. Shoot.
I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn about baseball, so I ain't going nowhere.
Cheating, man. I'm cheating ass Astro.
Hey,
come on, man. That was a few years ago.
Y'all
bringing up all that old stuff.
A couple years ago.
Well, we thank y'all for joining us tonight. Of course, we thank the folks on Facebook, thank the folks on our YouTube page, and of course, you fine folks for always tapping in here and having these conversations with us. Y'all, again, please make sure that you share and like the video, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and we will see you same time, same place next week, 8:05 Tuesday.
All right, y'all
have a good
be
night.
safe.
Good night.